Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Blue Steel Tarot. Today is Sunday, February 26th. I'm back for your weekly reading. This is the final weekly reading for the month of February as we head into March the next couple of days. Today, I have kind of like a fun law of attraction kind of style reading. It's a spread I haven't used before, but I'm really excited to do it. And hopefully tie in some thoughts, feelings, and insights from the law of attraction and how to embrace that and use the law of attraction to your advantage. Because, one, we talked about this before, we're always attracting, and the law of attraction is always kind of like gravity, right? Like we're always using it, if that's the term, but we can be more deliberate and definitive in how we're using it. So that's one of the things we always want to kind of explore, right? So let's start out with the first card being the vibration that you're emitting this week. What is the vibration that you are emitting this week? I'm going to cut the deck. Okay, the King of Pentacles. Nice vibration. What's something you need to be more open to receiving this week? The Lovers. It's exciting. Okay. The third card I want to pull is, what will come when I am more open to this? Being you're more open to something you're willing to, something that you're something that you're going to be receiving, okay? What will come when I am more open to this is death. Okay, now remember, death is not probably a death in the physical sense, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind. Very rarely does the death card signal physical death in regards to the tarot, okay? And then next we have, what is the next step? If we take a leap of faith, what does taking the leap of faith look like? Tell us what that next step looks like. Okay, Page of Swords. Okay. And then moving on, how can I manifest more successfully? This is more general. How can you manifest more successfully? Got the Four of Cups. So we'll delve into that a little bit further. And then a message from your higher source. Your higher source could be your inner being, as Mr. Hicks calls it. It could be your soul, however you really want to think about it. But this is your true, pure self, uninhibited, your true nature, your true natural self. And so what is the message from my higher source? So the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so I've seen the Seven of Pentacles a little bit lately. Okay, so this is overall like a very exciting kind of a reading. So the emotion, the kind of the vibration that you're emitting this week, this is a good card to have, right? The King of Pentacles. I think that you're probably in a position of power. I think the vibration you're emitting is strong. There's also a degree of confidence associated with this, okay? So I'm kind of getting like, you are emitting, like you're confident and secure in your position. You feel like you have the abundance and the financial stability that like makes you feel comfortable, right? So I think that this is like a solid position to be in, because like what you emit is what you attract. What you are is what you reflect back to you. We are and we attract what we reflect. We attract and reflect back to us that which we are, not that which we want. So your vibration here is in a very strong position of power. It's very secure. It's very abundant. You're probably feeling pretty secure, like you've kind of got a lot of the things you need, and that's a great place to be. So you're coming into the week very strong, feeling really, really good. Something you need to be more open to receiving could be this partnership, could be some sort of a love, could be something like along that line. Now, this is the card of partnership. This is the card of some duality here, represented by both the moon and the sun. This is the card of Gemini. It's not lost on any of us, I don't think, that the two people in this card are completely naked. So there's a degree of confidence, but also like a free spirit, also kind of a bearing all, kind of being open and transparent and kind of like getting everything out there, right? So with respect to something you need to be more open to receiving, it could be more, you need to be more open to receiving these opportunities, receiving love from others. And, maybe that starts with giving love to yourself and truly loving yourself and your strengths and just who you are as a person. So I think that it starts there, right? So if you can really, truly appreciate and love yourself, you'll attract that love. That love will radiate, and it kind of comes back to this King of Pentacles, right? Although, the King of Pentacles is much more, we tend to think of more like about financial stability and security. And I think you've got that, right? So you've got the financial stability and security. Now it's kind of like, well, what about the love piece? So I think this is kind of like, just be more open to receiving love, and it may come from like an unexpected source or an unexpected person, okay? And then, moving on here, the question we had asked with this in respect to this card is, what will come when I am more open to this? Meaning when I am more open to receiving love and partnership and, kind of being open. And also, I just got the feeling of not vulnerability is kind of what I was just getting. So I think that this, again, comes into being more vulnerable, and I think that that's part of the thing of being naked, right? It's kind of like there's a vulnerability there. So again, I think like what will come when we're more open to this is a whole brand new beginning. So the death card, as I indicated, death very rarely in the tarot signifies like a physical death. So, but what it does signify is, a brand new, a transformation, a new beginning, something that is new, and a significant change. Here we almost have like, kind of reminds me of one of the Ghosts of Christmas Past, or maybe Christmas Future or something from like the Christmas Carol movies. But here he is cloaked in red, and there's this white rose. The white rose, of course, being like purity, right? So, and it's not lost to me that there's a butterfly over here in the corner on the Robin Wood Tarot deck, right? So the butterfly transforms from the caterpillar. So there's a full transformation, a full change. So I think like as you kind of, be more open to receiving love, it's going to be a tremendous change for you. And it could be in the manner of, allowing that relationship to come into your experience. So like as you kind of just relax and allow it to happen, it's going to be a whole new change for you. Okay. So taking that leap of faith, like what do we do? Like, what is that leap of faith? What do you do? Well, to me, this is, the Page of Swords. I mean, she is moving quickly, and she has new clarity and insights. She's sharing that, and she's, expressing herself and her thoughts and ideas. So I think, one way to do that is certainly like, if you have a thought or a feeling or a certain, I think when you tell people like what you appreciate about them, I think that there's a certain degree of vulnerability there, right? So I think that's partly taking the leap of faith. Is maybe you're closed off is kind of what I'm just getting. Or maybe people don't necessarily feel that you might be as approachable as you think you might be. And this is all just kind of coming to me. So it's just kind of, as it comes into my brain, this is what I'm kind of getting. So I think you might have to be a little bit more expressive than you think you need to be, okay? And I think that's kind of taking the leap of faith. So express yourself more clearly and concisely, because people might not necessarily interpret you as being, one, interested in them, or two, being interested in something, sharing a particular, same, interest, desire, skill, whatever it might be, because the Lovers is often tied to love and romance, right? But it's also a decision. It's also tied to like just a partnership. So could this be love? Most likely. However, it could also just be more of like a partnership and, a shared strong interest in making that decision, kind of partnering with somebody. Okay. So I do think you need to get, you need to be a little bit more expressive, because people might not, your true thoughts, your true emotions or degree of interest could be lost on people. Okay. And I don't think that's all that uncommon. You might think you're more, you think you might be, I'm getting the sense that you may feel, your interests in somebody else are relatively transparent. And what this is telling me is that's not necessarily the case. And maybe taking the leap of faith is just to convey that verbally and, and make sure that those thoughts are very clearly communicated, right? So how can you manifest more successfully? Well, I mean, I think really what this is saying, knowing about the law of, the law of attraction, right, is express gratitude for what you already have is the first thing that comes to mind. So we've kind of got these three cups in front of us, but you see, like in this card, like he's kind of looking and he's, kind of disinterested, seemingly a little tired, maybe a little apathetic, a little disengaged perhaps. But when you want, so one thing, what can you do to manifest more successfully is one, gratitude. When you express gratitude, you're telling the universe more of this, please. So I think express that gratitude. The other thing that's coming to mind is this cup is kind of floating up here, right? And it's kind of like the cup that he doesn't see. However, I think as it relates to the question that we asked and the way it's positioned in this card and thinking about what the law of attraction means, to me, this is saying dream and imagine. Do less thinking, more imagining. Imagine that which you desire, whether it be like the job, whether it be the relationship, the car, the house, whatever it is. It can be something very small. Frankly, I've done this a lot with some very, very basic things. I've manifested a lot of, things that are seemingly insignificant in my life, but I've actually thought about how much I would like this particular thing, and I visualized what it would look like. And it always comes into my experience, and it's usually at a very good, reasonable price. And it's usually when I'm least expecting it. So I'm not like actively looking for it. One of those scenarios was I manifested like a really nice winter camel colored overcoat. I just had the vision in my mind. Several weeks later, I happened to be walking through a Marshall's, and there it was right on the end cap. The price was great. It was very reasonable. It was much lower than I would have gotten at a higher end department store or a specialty store. And that's kind of like what happened. And so I think like when you can visualize something and you can actually feel like the having of it, see, this cup is kind of like floating, but it's kind of, behind him or seemingly out of the realm of like his reach here. So I think really what you need to do is think about it, visualize specifically what you want, but also do it from the point of like you already have it, okay? So it has to be within reach and you have to believe it for this to happen, okay? So I'm generally not a big fan of the Four of Cups, but I think in regards to this question, how can I manifest more successfully? I think there's a lot of lessons to kind of take away from this. So I would encourage you to kind of take those back with you as well. And then the message from your higher source is you already are tremendously successful. Like look around, take a pause every once in a while and look at the success and the abundance that you've built. You probably have a great success both in places in the manner in which you live. Your living situation, whether you own a home, you have a really nice apartment, you live in a wonderful city, whatever the case might be, your efforts have really paid off. And I think that this is saying, let's not lose sight of that. Take a look around and take a moment to appreciate that which you've manifested and created yourself, because everything in our 3D experience is the direct results of the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs and assumptions that we have held in the past, right? So if you're looking around, and I think this is saying like, take a moment. If you're looking around in your current experience and you're very happy with what you see, then you know what? I think then you are vibrating and you are manifesting in a way that is aligning with your true intentions and experiences. If you're looking around and you're like, oh, this isn't really exactly what I had in mind and this isn't really exactly what I want, I'm not totally happy or satisfied, then maybe you need to put less, then I guess I would say focus more on the thoughts, feelings, and emotions and the assumptions, right, that you're feeling and that you believe, because thoughts, a belief is nothing more than a thought you continue to think. An assumption is very similar in the sense that when I assume something to be true, it becomes my reality, and then it becomes my belief, right? So I think what this is saying is, take that look around. This is your inner being saying, take a look around. Things are going really well. Express that gratitude and appreciation for what is today, and refine your current thoughts, feelings, and emotions and assumptions accordingly if you'd like to see something different, okay? So overall, this is a really exciting reading. I'm interested to hear your thoughts and ideas on this one below. Drop any comments down below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I love to engage more and more people on this. And so when you subscribe, you're aware of the new videos I post at least weekly. I'm probably going to be popping in with some more law of attraction focused videos, in like interweek. If I can, and that's kind of the thought. So certainly share anything you'd like to see, any questions you have around that would be amazing. Also, with regards to the law of attraction and that kind of thing, I can certainly delve more into it in greater detail if folks are interested in that. So Thank you for joining me today. I wish everyone a great week ahead, and I'll be back again soon.